5, 16, 19, 21, 30, 3 and 10. Check results. Can you remember?
Can't think of a song. I've been starting to songs recently. Can't think of a song. I was watching an awful. This is Pod Today, Doctor Will, that great stuff. 1-8 something. 4. I actually think I do know the number this time. I think it is actually 184. I think I know that for 95% certainty. But basically, I was watching this movie earlier, Netflix film. I kind of walked in and it was on, and I just sort of, like, you know, when you're just like, I guess I'm a part of this. I guess I'm watching this now, even though I'm actively think it's bad. It's not. I don't know. I'm not gonna say it was bad because now I'm about to name the film, and if people like it, I don't want them to be like, "That's not a bad film," or whatever. But it's called To the Bone. It's like some anorexic sort of story thing. The storyline was fine. It was sort of the classic sort of. They talk about like some kind of condition or disease. You know, you see them all the time. You see these kind of stories where it's like, you know, characters have a disease or a condition, and that they spend all their time in like a hospital or like an ICU. That's the same thing, I guess, or like in this place, and then they sort of make friendships in this place, but they're stuck in there, and then they get really close to certain people, and then someone dies, and it's like, oh no, then there's tragedy, and then it can kind of just end sort of open-ended. Sometimes you'll know if the characters made it, sometimes you won't. Just one of those kind of stories. But the dialogue, oh my god. You know, sometimes when you watch a film, right, and you just think, and they use a line of dialogue, and you just kind of think, surely when they wrote this, they knew that this wasn't the first time it had ever been put to paper. Like, I feel like in big blockbuster films, it's more, it's like, yep, there's that one. It's more acceptable. Because it's kind of what it's, you know, it's different. They're going for different things. Like if they say, he's right behind me, isn't he? Like that type of stuff, right? That's like, yeah, okay, why are you saying that? But also it's like, sure, it's just, you know, it's fun times, you know, blockbuster. But then when you're watching a film that's just sort of like this more, not that. And that, like, oh god, there's just lines like, you know, if you die, I will kill you. It's just like, oh god, I hate that. Couple other cringe lines like that as well. I can't remember them all now. There was like one character who literally was wearing a fedora and saying all the things you can imagine that come with that, and it wasn't even that. It was like this came out like within the last 5 years, so there's not even an excuse. Although I can't lie, I'm a hypocrite. There is sometimes where there is a line they use in a film and I'm like, oh, that's so like done 1,000 times before, but that line I just happen to be a sucker for. Trying to think of an example. Okay, for example, when there's like a story, sort of, it's either on again, off again type thing, or it's just like on again, but one half of the relationship has never fully like spoke about how much they need the relationship or something, and then it's like sort of the apex of a story or like whatever, and it's like, it's you, Mary, it's always been you. Like that one gets a pass. If you die, I'll kill you. That doesn't get a pass. Because obviously, how are you going to kill someone who's dead? That's just like a classic line. People. The thing is, people do say in real life. I remember Love Island. Remember that show, Love Island? It's actually on right now. People are still showing out watching it. I don't watch that, but I remember back in the day when I did. Back in the day, I just said. Like 3 years ago, or whatever. But I remember there was a guy on there who would speak in like movie quotes, and not like specific quotes, not stuff like, "Oh mate, you're absolutely killing it in the gym," and then he'd be like, "Oh yeah, I can do this all day." Oh mate, that's a cool. Is this your friend? Yeah, this is my. I didn't know you were friends with Peter Dinklage. Yeah, say hello to my little friend. Like, it's not stuff like that. You know, like using actual quotes. Right? When I say he spoke in movie quotes, it's like he spoke in things like he'd be speaking to someone on like the sofas in Love Island. You know how it is. It's like they're by the fire pit or something, and he'd be like, you know, it's you. It's always been you. And it's like, as much as I like that line in film, you can't say things like that in real life. You know. But some people do. In their head, there is like music playing in the background as they're saying it. Like there's cinematography going on in their mind, like this. They're even all the right pauses. Like it's like take 7. Like they've got it down. They've practiced it in the mirror probably. What's like another good one people would say? Like he would say stuff like pretty much things like, I'm just a guy standing in front of a girl, but like obviously not like he wasn't directly quoting films, but just saying all his cliche lines, whatever. And I hated him for it. And the worst thing about Love Island for me is why I had to stop watching it. Is one, I just felt like it ran its course, and I just feel like it's forced fun at this point. It's like we don't need to keep pretending that this is the most hype moment of our lives, and the fact that we are is kind of sad. And even if it was, I don't want to admit that it is, right? So apart from the fact that it ran its course, in my opinion, is secondly, aside from like football, I guess, and I don't know, maybe like serious topics, but like as in terms of entertainment, I think, or like okay, technology really annoys me when technology doesn't work and doesn't just do the one job it's meant to do, especially when it has one job and it doesn't even do that and it's not working. That bugs me. But like just in terms of entertainment, aside from football, basically a lot of things annoy me, it seems like. Aside from football, the only thing that can get me really, really annoyed, like physically frustrated, like my blood is boiling, my skin is hot type thing, that show would do it. Because like when there was a character, these are real, it's reality TV, reality, in there, who I just, for whatever reason, I couldn't stand. And it wouldn't be like the people you imagine. It wouldn't be like some sort of, what's the capital of England? Like it wouldn't be the classic sort of like, ditzy bimbo characters who don't know what the capital of the country is, right? Because, I was speaking to my little sister the other day. I know, rare. I thought I said that. And she didn't know, she, more than old enough to know, didn't know what the capital of like England was. Didn't know England was in Europe. Just like, I just think like geography is just a thing. They just don't. It's not really a thing, And I was thinking about it. Like, when would you really? I know you would. No, I'm sorry. There's no. She should know that, and I grilled her for it. But like, honestly, I reckon if I asked her now, she still wouldn't know. But I just feel like when I did geography GCSE, but even still before that, I knew what the capital of England was. But I don't know. Like, I don't know how. It's almost impressive that you can kind of walk through life and that information you just, because it's definitely been served up on a platter in front of your face multiple times. The capital of England is London. That's been available information just pushed in your face multiple times. But you've just had this kind of just like, every time that information's tried to sort of penetrate, it's just been deflected. Other things going on. Fair enough. No, the people that would annoy me is the people who like with little things. And I just felt like I could like see through them or something, but they were like fan favorites and people loved them. That would just kill me. Or like when two characters, I'm just gonna say characters, would like one would mug the other one off and then they would just accept it so easy. And then, because for some reason that really bothers me. Like, what's her name? Khloe Kardashian getting cheated on like 7 times. It's like, why do I care? I don't know Khloe Kardashian, but it's like, how are you such a mug about it, And it's like, there's probably some kind of gain to it. It's all like publicity. The mom's probably saying stuff like, just stay with him, it looks good for the brand, because she definitely would say stuff like that. Like, she has profited off her own daughter's sex tape massively. She's absolutely built an empire off it. So, but I just look at it and go, I don't know what it is that about. There is something I can't describe about it that annoys me. It's not as simple as, no girl, know your worth. It's more like, how are you letting, I don't know, I can't really describe it. And I remember the last time I watched it, that I think the 2 people who won or came close to winning, or they were like fan favorites, and I just hated the gazer so much. I was just like, and everyone just loved him. And the thing about these Love Island people is like, once they win or even get far in the competition, their faces are everywhere, and they're on like all the billboards and stuff, and it's like, national treasure, national sweethearts, this and that, and it's like, I don't need that. I don't need to be getting annoyed about reality. I remember like once I had to ask for it to be turned off because I was just so angry, and it's like, why are you getting angry, man? Just calm down. It's like, reality TV is probably not for me anymore. Cause it's not even just that show. Like in general, it's just it's a weird thing you get invested in. I think sometimes when you watch a character, I haven't seen Game of Thrones, but I know that there's this character I always see on Twitter when the thread is usually like, what's the character that made you the most annoyed ever in TV history? And it's usually that black kid actually from Ghost. That was called, yeah, from Ghost. That's what it's called, right? Like the son, his face would always come up, or it'd be this character in Game of Thrones. I think he becomes king, and everyone thought it should have been, what's that guy called? Jon Snow or something. He was like the little skinny white guy in Game of Thrones. You probably know who I'm talking about if you've seen it. I've not seen it, so that's why I can't. I don't know what his name is. It's like a one syllable name. That's all I can remember. And people said, I think annoying characters like that in TV, like Dolores Umbridge or something. It's like I just watch it and I'm like, oh, I'm watching an actor do a performance. It's like, oh wow, they're doing a good job because they're so unlikable. Like, but then when I watch reality TV, like if someone says something that is just like so crazy or just outlandish, or just wild, and I'm just like, it's like it's real. It's not fictional, maybe. So maybe that's why. I don't know, but I know it's not good for me. Reality TV. Not because it rots the brain though, just because it sort of heightens the blood pressure. And I have enough of that going on. I had to watch Chelsea finish. Where did we finish? Like 13th, 12th last season. So that blood pressure was high enough. And the time I wasn't watching football, I needed to be just sort of chilling. You know, Formula One's a nice way to chill because it's a sport that I watch. And although I have like, I want this person to win, I want this person to do well or whatever. I want this person not to. It's not something I leave ever annoyed if what I wanted doesn't happen. In the same way as if Chelsea lose, I'm gonna be. I mean, to be fair, I did start to get numb to it towards the end of the season, because there's just so many L's in a row and everything was written off. And it was like, okay, I'm kind of just used to it already now. But in the average season, when it's like you're actually fighting for something and then you lose, and there's a chance that, like those moments where it's like, we have 3 games in hand against really easy teams, and if we actually win these games, then we could actually be back in a chance for fighting for this. And it's like you end up not winning 2 or 3 or 1 of the easy games, and then you don't make the most of this opportunity that was given to you. And it's like, we could have been in like those are the moments you get most pissed, or like finals obviously, or something like that. But yeah, oh god, I just got really hungry. I know I've been Marvin today, absolutely Marvin. Actually, this might die in a minute, and that'd be really annoying. So this is gonna be another short one, and I probably should cut off now because I'm playing with fire right now, and every extra word I say, that fire's getting hot. I kind of want it to turn off now. It's getting fun. The idea I have to re-record this. Oh my god, that would be hell. Okay, let's stop this now. This was 184. See you in 185.
Here with the kids, and I had like 3 kids, and the geezer was probably on like maximum 20 bags a year. Like the most boring bloke you'll ever meet. He was like,